Well, good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Sebring Slot Cars. We are getting ready to start our final race of the day. We're going to race JK LMP box stock. We got Victor Abreau going to start on red, James Binn's on blue, and Rick Schwartz on purple. And I will be your announcer today. Let's take a look at the cars. And again, we have Victor Abreau on red. He's in the red, white, and blue car. James Binn is on blue in the brown and orange and white car. And Rick Schwartz is in the Gulf Lola and on the purple lane. So we're about to kick it off, and so let's get us a view of the racetrack. Y'all ready? Yep. All right, we're firing it up. Drivers, start your engines. All right. And they're off. All right. Okay, that's James in the orange car. That was Victor that went by in the red, white, and blue. And the Gulf Lola is Rick Schwartz. Cars are spread out around the field. And Victor's off. All right. Victor chasing down Rick. And he's off. Up. Running. On. Took him out. All right, we're starting back, and Gary and I are going to marshal a little bit. Victor's off again. All right, into the first heat. We got James and Rick Schwartz tied at 20 laps each. Victor Abreau fell behind on red by a couple of laps, but he'll make it up on yellow. We got James is moving to purple. And Rick is moving to black. Victor Abreau is moving to green. So we ought to have an exciting heat here. So there's your scoreboard. Fast lap times. We have James at a 5.267, and Rick Schwartz had the fastest lap of all at 5.228. Victor Abreau at a 5.307. So they're all turning good lap times. Just Victor had a couple of stumbles, and but he will bounce back. So that's the end of the first heat. So we're going to go back to watching the track and the guys work on their cars. All right, here we go. Back to racing.
about not wrecking right there?
I said, stop wrecking there.
Oh, okay.
That was close. Track. There you go. And that's how it's done.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready. Go.
You did good. All right. Good heat.
Heat over. Get to go to yellow. Now I got this red and black.
Yep. It ain't too bad unless you wreck.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Good heat. All right. Well, let me go back to the scoreboard first. We got James is in the lead. Oh, no, Victor Abreau is in the lead with 23. I'm sorry, that heat he won. And James was second that heat. Rick Schwartz was third. Rick came out on black a couple, 2 or 3 times. James is your leader with 42 laps. He's going from purple to black. Rick Schwartz is coming off of black and going to yellow. And he's in a catbird seat to pick up a lap on James. Victor Abreau is going from green to blue. Victor's got a good position to maybe pick up a lap on both of them. Fast laps. James turned to 5.305, but Rick Schwartz turned to 5.194 on black, which is remarkable. That's an excellent time. Victor Abreau turned to 5.178 on green. So they're running good. That's some good racing. So we're kind of happy about that. So we're going to go back to racing. We'll try a different camera angle. Track. All right. Yep. That's fine. Well, with that, it's okay to hit it.
Yeah, that's my problem was not hitting the button.
Well, that's a borderline call, but I ain't argue either way.
No, I probably would have done the same thing. Ready.
In a state race, you wouldn't have hit it. But here we can.
Every time I hear it, I think somebody
50, everybody's at 50 laps. See, tight race. Very tight race. Wow. James is leading by a little bit. About half a second or so. Oop, off on, little off on timing there, James. Get that focus back. All right, into heat. Wow, good driving, guys. Okay, we got a tight race, a very tight race. The laps have closed up. We got James, I think, is still in the lead by a few feet. He has turned 21 laps at heat. Rick Schwartz turned 22, and Victor Abreau turned 22. So James Binn is tied with is a three-way tie with James, Rick, and Victor. Total laps, James is leading with 63 and about a 10-foot lead. Rick Schwartz with 63 and just down a little bit, Victor Abreau, 63 also. The next rotation is James Benz goes to yellow, which should be a very good lane for James. Rick Schwartz rotates from yellow to orange, which is the fastest lane. And he should be able to get a lap on somebody. Victor Abreau goes from blue to purple, so Victor is going into two of the slower lanes. He's got to do purple and then black, so he might drop down a lap or two, but he'll make it up when he comes out because he's already ran red. The other ones still have to run red. So we got everybody tied at 63 laps, so that's a great run. Nobody on red. Good tight race between James and Victor, or Rick and Victor. They're neck and neck. Been neck and neck for a couple of laps. That's the two blue cars. Wow. Victor's driving purple, excellent. James is making up time on yellow. Excellent race, excellent. All right, Victor's starting to pull away a little bit. Great neat stuff. Don't play with your knobs while you're driving. Don't turn knobs while you're driving. Somebody hit the button. Here we go, back to racing. Yeah, every time I do that, I wreck. All right, they're still neck and neck. It's a fun race when you have that. Boy, I'm glad you hit the button because your guy was 90 degrees.
I know it. Ready.
All right, so Victor came off and Rick pulled away from him a little bit. Not far. All right, heat over. Let's go get our report. Drivers are changing their stations, rotating to the next lanes. Well, still a tight race. James is starting to pull away a little bit. Now James just went to yellow, Rick was on orange, and Victor was on purple. Victor ran a great race on purple. He and Rick each came out only one time, I think, that heat. Excuse me. James ran an excellent race on yellow, and he gained a lap on those two. James turned 23 laps that heat, and Rick and Victor each got 22. So we have James leading with 86 laps. Rick Schwartz is rotating to white currently with 85 laps. And Victor Abreau is rotating to black, and he's at 85 laps. So both Rick and Victor have challenging lanes. James is on the fastest lane. James needs to gain another lap on them here, and they need to not let James gain a lap. Now Rick's already driven black, so he's got to run white this heat, and he'll go to rotate to red next heat. So let's go back to the cameras, and we will watch some more racing. In the heat. Okay. Rick Schwartz has pulled away on white, which I would not have thought that would have happened, but both James and Victor came off, and Rick did not. And their D-slot cost them the lead. So Rick is leading with, Rick got 23 laps that heat, James got 21, and Victor got 22. Our earlier discussion was Rick on the heat before stopped right before the lap counter. So when he completed this, he instantly got a lap, which would have put him tied with James, or even maybe ahead of James. So anyway, we have Rick at a 108, James at 107, Victor Abreau at 107. Fast laps, Rick Schwartz with a 5.263, James with a 5.276. Victor Abreau had a 5.139 on black. Great lap for Victor. Victor did come out 2 or 3 times that heat, so that's what cost Victor. James came out twice, I believe, and Rick 0 times. Great race for those guys. Great race for Rick. So here we go. In the heat. Yeah, that was a rough lane for you. Yes, it does. All right. James had a few bumps and bruises on that one, but he'll come back from it. For whatever reason, most people tend to run red better than they do white, and they're side by side. And red has tighter corners, but people run red better. Maybe it's the false security of having a wall beside you, I don't know. But Rick Schwartz has taken the lead, or is still leading, with 129 laps. Rick just ran red, did really well on red. Victor Abreau just ran yellow, and he picked up a little bit on James on yellow. So James is going from white to red. This will be his last difficult lane, and then from here on, James will finish on green, so he might get these couple laps back. We'll just have to see. Fast laps, we have Rick Schwartz turned a 5.458, so that doesn't look very good, but he was on red and didn't wreck. Victor Abreau turned a 5.122, and that's where Victor got his lap back. James turned a 5.436 on white, and so Rick and Victor both 21 laps that heat, and James 19. So we're 129 leading, 128 second place with Victor, and 126 with James. So let's watch them tighten this race up. Track. I'd heard that somewhere before. I'd heard that a while ago. Track. Track.
Hi, Chargers.
I think Rick is in it to win it today.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Yes, he is.
I think he is.
I'm just purposely wrecking so you guys can feel better about yourself.
Look and see what the results are. James had some technical difficulty. He had some wires hanging down and it really interfered with his racing. He fixed the wires and the car still wouldn't get around red. So I'm not sure what that problem was. All right, Rick Schwartz is still a lap up ahead of Victor Abreau. Victor's going to a challenging lane. He's going to white. So if all Rick has to do is drive Miss Daisy and he'll pull off a win. James is pretty much out of it after his difficulty on red. So that's a bad day at Flat Rock. But it's a good day for Rick. Lap times. Rick had a fast lap of 5.262. Victor a 5.267. And James a 5.826, which is way off for James. However, James is going to green, so maybe his car will stay in green. He can get a lap or two back, but he won't be able to make up that gap. So we have Rick with 150, Victor with 149, and James at 140. James lost a bunch of laps that heat. All right, let's go back to racing. Well, I hear it hitting also, but it's been hitting the whole race.
Why is it working perfectly green? And the other two lanes would not go through.
White and red are a little lower than green. Well, today's a special day.
I just taking it easy. That could backfire on me.
All I know is that race is just run pretty fast.
I'll give you half the credit of that.
You don't mind if he does, Victor? Victor just told James he is welcome to take Rick out.
James is running good. I tried. I helped you. If I slowed down.
Race over. Wow, we got a new winner today.
I'm about tired of that.
I bet you are. That was pure misery, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Okay, we have a new winner today, Rick Schwartz. Rick is going home with his first victory. Rick finished the race with 172 laps. Victor Abreau with 171, so they had a very close race. James's car was not running right today. He had a terrible white and a terrible red and fell off the pace. James was only he was tied with Victor, with Rick just barely ahead. And under normal circumstances, that would have been a race to the finish, but today it was an off day. So we need to get some pictures. So I'm going to move the camera over and see if we can get some pictures. I saw that, Rick.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.